Hello, and welcome back to Trailer Stacking Simulator. I'm your host, Mr. Big Z. No, on a serious note, welcome all, welcome back to episode 3 of Banished to the Frontier on Farming Simulator 25. Now, this has been my life all day, all October. If I take a step away from the truck real quick, we have done a lot of cutting. I've slightly changed up how I'm approaching cutting down trees. I have reverted back to my 5-meter lengths cut in just hopes and attempts to do two things. First off, to reduce how many logs I'm picking up, and more importantly also to try to make sure that I'm capitalizing on as much of this tree revenue as possible. We are currently sitting at 49,000, and since you guys saw me last, I haven't done anything financially outside of cut down trees. Yeah, and that has essentially been it. I'm trying to get to the point where these episodes just aren't me cutting, delimbing, and stacking logs. I did a good bit of stacking prior to starting this recording, and then I was driving away, accidentally unstrapped all my straps, and then all of the logs, which were way worse stacked than this. That left side is a pretty good representation of what it was like. But now I am just dealing with the aftermath of poorly stacking, or overstacking maybe, and trying to clean it up to make it over to the shop in one trip once again. So, like I said, I'm slightly changing up the way I'm approaching cutting down trees. All of the trees on this property were cut down to 5-meter lengths, and I'm just going to leave the pieces that are too heavy to carry myself until I can grab a tractor with a front loader and a log fork. Come on, there we go, and bring them over that way. Hopefully, not only am I saving time, but I'm also making more money off better cuts of wood. But yeah, that is that. Let's take a moment to quickly talk about what happened last episode. So not only did we cut down more trees, but specifically, if we jump over to this menu here, we were currently at 22 trees last time we checked, and we are now at 125. So if my math serves me correctly, that is 103 trees chopped down, minus the 6 from the Deadwood contract. So we are at 97 trees chopped down from our own gameplay and our own property here. And yeah, it's a grind. We're currently at $50,000 essentially. If I go to our finances, we can see that in the month of September, the only thing we did is we sold wood totaling $25,000, and we did a contract for $900, bringing our total for September just up and above 26,000. So that's pretty good, truthfully. I'm pretty happy with that, and hopefully we can get that number up much higher with this month of October's sales. It is raining, unfortunately. Not that it makes any real difference. We don't have crop. It's just me outside in the rain getting all of this done. I might come back for these. I might, I don't think I have it in me to try to stack anymore. Let's try to make a decently clean pile and then take a trip over to the shop and see how much money we can get for this ragtag. That's too long. For this ragtag pile of lumber. Okay, so pulling up to the sawmill, and I can only imagine what the owners of this joint think of me bringing in such terrible but large amounts of wood. On the drive over, we lost one tiny little tip of wood, and the biggest issue with that was that not really the value of the wood itself, but I had to unstrap the bed of the truck. For some reason, I don't know why it wasn't happening before. I can see a piece dangling off there. But for some reason, when I went to go strap, it locked in one of these pieces, and which essentially tied the bed of the truck and the trailer together. So that's all done now. Let's see. One shot. Nice. $7,000 almost. Okay. Now I'll probably never find that piece of wood that fell off. The grass is just way too high. Okay, so let's head on back and let's just try to keep on continuing. I am going to jump forward. I don't think you guys want to see all this wood collection. If you do, let me know in the comment sections down below. But other than that, I'm just going to try to press on as forward and as fast as I can. Okay, so another $7,000. We are currently at $63,800. $13,000 worth, almost $14,000 worth of wood sold this month in October. Still no contract, so let's go ahead. Ooh. Oh, this is new. This is different. Okay, cool. Still in the same area roughly, which is not the end of the world. But let's go ahead and accept that. That's $1,200. We're looking for 8 trees. Plus 4,000, currently at $80,000. Slowly creeping. We are now in the morning of November, and it is a grind. I think once we get a little bit more money and things on the road, I think hard difficulty at a 3x timescale, which I'm now playing on, would be perfect, would be really amazing, and it would feel pretty true to life. I guess, well, not true to life, but just a bit less gamey. Sometimes having the feeling of earning and making the equipment a bit more valuable in terms of how long it takes you to get it paid off adds a sense of enjoyment. But in the beginning, especially at 5x scale on hard economy, it is a grind. But we're grinding. Essentially what I've done now is that I've started chopping my longer 5-meter, relatively heavy logs into smaller segments. Oh, and here comes that fog again. Sometimes when I'm driving through here, I ramp right over some of these. So let's take a quick pause and let's look at what we have left. So I'm trying to avoid popping these down, these really big ones. If you can see, we have the F1 menu open, and we currently have Forestry Helper once again set to weight at 200 kilograms. And if I was to chop this, that is all I can carry on my own. So I'm like, this log here, that has to stay. And a lot of these segments, me, like even that, this right here is just too short and not worth me chopping. So I've tried to leave a few of them around. This one here is pretty long. That would be perfectly 2.5 meters down the middle. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I really want to get a tractor. And with that being said, I think I'm going to end up selling my truck. The truck is currently valued at, let's see, vehicles. The truck is currently valued at $20,000. So if I sold that, I'd be up to $100,000. I would have $15,000 left over to buy anything else I needed, such as the forks and the front loader attachment. I'm worried it might be a mistake, but at this point, I need to start making a bit more progress towards a farm. And although it'd be pretty handy and pretty useful to have a truck, right now I just don't have the money for it, and the tractor should be able to, or will be able to, do everything the truck can. The only difference between the tractor and the truck is that the truck obviously has that truck bed, whereas the tractor you'd need to drag everything around. But I think for $15,000 or for $20,000, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth a switch. Let's find out where to sell this. Should be right here. We're also at half tank of gas, so I am benefiting, not benefiting, but I am walking away from the truck at a pretty good time. So selling the truck, I won't even, yeah, you know what? I might as well repair it. Repair it for 27 is currently worth 22,770. Oh, that's even better. It's better to sell it here. And let's see if I sell that. Yeah, as always, you always get a bit more selling it on location and repairing it before you sell. So we are now at $102,000, but we have no vehicles. So we are walking anywhere we need to go. I don't know why I even went to this menu. Before I do this, let's take a look at some sales. No. I can't do it anymore. I'd have to sell my trailer, and that would only get me this tractor. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's set this up the way I want it. Quick key. We'll leave the license plate on the back only since we ended up selling. Oh, no. There we go. We'll leave the license plate on the back only since we ended up selling our truck. Just to remind everyone that this person is banished. So $85,500 gone. Now let's also find a front loader attacher. So we have 190 horsepower here. Let's try to match as best as we can a quickie front loader with 190 horsepower. This one's going to be the closest to. Let's just go ahead and let's grab that. And then for logs, let's not that category. For logs, let's go front loader attacher. And I did want to try out this modded one. It is a little bit more expensive. Hopefully it doesn't end up biting me in the... Yeah. We'll grab that. And then hopefully one day we can get some matching equipment. Because if you look at our logs all the way down here, this is a matching one that hopefully we can get someday soon. $15,000, not too bad, just to transport some logs around. and maybe something that I'll need sooner than later. But look at this. We finally have a new truck. One thing I need, sorry, a new tractor. One thing I need to find out is if this thing has GPS and how to turn around. Let's open the F1 menu. Driving direction, left shift B. Oh, yeah. Now I believe if I turn right, oh yeah, that works beautifully. Okay. I need to figure out if I have a button on my control panel. Change driving directions. Button number 3. What is button number 3? Nope. It's for my 4-ways. Button number 3. Nope. I'll have to figure that out at some point. Either way. Shift B. Let's get back facing the right direction. Ooh, I like that a lot. Well, that is... What is going on here? Okay, I know what's going on. That attached to our front hitch. Sorry, our front 3-point. It's not one thing, it's this other, I swear to God. Can I do something like this? Whoa! There we go. Man. Once again, if it's not one thing, it's the next. Okay, but we are all hooked up. We have this. Let's go down to our property and check out how well it is at loading. If anything, we might have to go back to the vanilla, non-modded log forks, but we have a tractor, we have a front load attacher, and we have our log fork. So let's see if we can start loading some heavier logs and making a bit more money. Where did I leave my... Oh, there we go. Okay, you have log forks. Use the log forks. Okay, well, we have our first load of wood. I'm not too sure why it's showing my hand here. I feel like it's telling me I can lift it. Super strength is off. Yeah, super strength is off. You can see it there. But then when I come over here, it's not there anymore. So I don't know if it's because it's attached to the trailer or what, but either way, first load done. It definitely wasn't easy. But now let's get this hooked up. And let's see how much we can sell this all for. I must say this tractor is nice. I do need a rear weight on it to counterbalance, but outside of that, it is doing a really good job. It feels smooth, it sounds good. I'm very, very happy with this purchase so far. The only thing I'm not too happy about is the actual difficulty it is to load these, especially the non-lodgepole logs. Load them all in is pretty tricky. We're sitting at just under $4,000. Let's see how much we can make this sale for. Oh, nice. Okay. Once again, I am feeling good. If that was $8,000, we should be back up and running in no time. I think I shouldn't say that quickly. I'm going to make a quick stop over at the shop, pick up a rear weight. Something pretty heavy. I don't know how much weight I need. Maybe something in the 1.5 to 2 ton range. I think that makes sense. Essentially, something heavy enough, but I don't want to break the bank. So I need a little bit of counterbalance on the rear end, especially if I'm carrying 2 logs, maybe even some of the larger single logs that I have laying around at 5 meters. Might need a good bit of weight. Okay, welcome back in. So we've spent the entire month of November essentially just clearing trees off the property. A lot of them were already cut down, which is great, but we had to move them out of the way. The only last two trees we have are these two, and I probably should not leave that there. Because I want to run my test. I want to figure out what is the ultimate length for your trees. We decided to keep just these two here, and I think it should be plenty. We're getting as close to the bottom as possible on both these trees, and they are down, annoyingly crisscrossed. Sweet, hopefully that is all in there. One last round of selling. $12,000. Not as much as I thought it was going to be. And I know the experiment test was all over the place, but realistically I've determined that 10 meters, especially with the equipment I have now with the trailer, the forks, is too long. They're really hard to hold on to. You really have to balance them right in the middle before even moving at all. If I do need to clear any trees, which I hope I don't have to do any more clearing for a very long time, but it is a decent solid way of making money, I'll chop them down to 5, maybe 6 meters and transport them that way. Something else I don't think I spoke about is that we bought a trailer for logs specifically. We swapped out our forks at the front, and then last but not least, we now have enough money to fund some of our next ventures. So, next episode, we are going to get into mowing, baling, wrapping, and maybe even plowing. I needed about $42,000 to get the mower, the baler, and the wrapper. And I might be good for also a plow. And I also need to buy a house. I've been sleeping in my trunk. Not my trunk, I've been sleeping in the truck or the tractor for quite a bit. Can I tow this as well? I think I should be able to. Step 1 is reverse up to it properly. Still don't think that's proper enough. Oh, this is... I do apologize. This is rough, and I know that some of the time lapse... Oh, come on. Some of the time lapses from earlier might have also been rough to struggle through, but trust me, it was a lot more of a struggle for me to do it than I'm sure it was for you to watch it. If this doesn't hook up, that would have been all for nothing. What does this even hook up to? So it does hook up, just not to this. Okay. Does this have a rear? It's a different mount. You know, I'm not even going to try it. I'll bring it down another time. But yeah, so now that we have everything out of the way down on our property, we are now ready to start mowing, baling, wrapping, then plowing. I just got to figure out roughly where I want my fields to sit. Now that I know exactly how much room I have, I'm thinking about putting in 3, maybe 4 fields instead of the 2 or 3 I was originally thinking of. But you know what? That is going to be it for me today. It's been a long one, a very, very long one. If we look over our stats as we creep in towards our property, we can see that in the month of November, what? Oh, I guess I bought a new tractor. Okay, yeah, That's fine. Wood, we sold $115,000 worth of wood. It's definitely been a good day for sales. And the last thing we need to do right now is put down a little shed. I guess it's not a shed. Oh, and it's dark out. Can I see? There we go. I'm not constructing anything. No shot. Okay, so not the biggest, not the greatest. I'm going to put this down here. And that's going to be home. I know this one was pretty repetitive once again, but if you guys are interested to see how the series continues, what happens next, please subscribe, like the video, comment down below anything you think I could do better as well. I'm Mr. Big Z, and as always, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you next time.